Hey everybody, it's Trevor here with the channel where every day is range day, and in this week's video we're going through my full review of the rifle sling from T.Rex Arms. Let's check it out. And real quick before we get into this week's video, we're doing a giveaway here on the channel with A&I Manufacturing. I'll link the video up here that you got to go to check out and enter to win, but one lucky winner on the channel is going to be able to win a holster of their choice from A&I. Check that video out, like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll be entered to win. Only running it for a couple more weeks, so don't miss it. Now on to this week's video. Alright guys, and of course as we get into it, just to disclose, T.Rex Arms didn't send me this sling or anything like that. I bought it with my own money about 2 years ago or maybe a little longer, so no bias there or anything like that, but it has been my primary rifle sling for the past 2 years, so let's check out how it's been. If you follow this channel or probably any others, you'll probably be familiar with products from T.Rex Arms. They got a lot of holsters, other gear like this. I have their plate carrier and a couple other things like that. We're fans of them on the channel. So of course when they dropped this rifle sling about 2 or maybe 3 years ago by now, we had to jump on it. So I got this one in multicam black, as you can see here, and I've been running it on my AR since then. We did a first impressions a while back going over some of the features of the sling, so check that out if you're a bit more interested in the details. But I'll just go over a couple of the highlights for some of the stuff I like about it, and then just overall how it's held up. Real quick on the sling itself, you can see here it's pretty basic, more of a minimalist sling compared to some of the ones with all different pouches or ammo rings, gizmos, bits and bobs, things like that. This one doesn't really have that. It's a pretty simple sling, and as Lucas says on the channel, it's a sling. It holds the rifle to you, and it pretty much what it does. It's got some quick adjust features with the little pull tab here, and you can weave it for a forward or reverse throw. And then it also comes with these little sling keepers here, just some shock cord bungee clips that kind of get bit down by here, and you can use it to stage your sling like this on your rifle, whether you're packing it or just keeping it at the ready at your house, and it keeps it a lot nicer and neater than just kind of having a sling loose and flopping all over the place. The T.Rex Arms website has a good video for how to set it up in a manner just like this, and I found it works pretty well. You basically just wrap the sling around your stock or something like that, then fold it on up to your rail, and you can use these sling keepers to keep it basically pinned down in 1 or 2 spots. If you're really just keeping it for travel, you might be able to buckle it down here. You do get 2 when you order this, but if you're just staging it for home defense or patrol or anything like that, where you just want it nice and tidy and out of the way, right up here works pretty well for me. Then it's pretty simple. You want the sling to go, you just pull it down here and it's good to go. It's really that simple, and it really does work quite well as a solution for keeping the sling both ready to go and also out of the way at the same time, so it's not hooking and snagging on anything if it's just loose like this. So it definitely works pretty well like that. I'm a big fan of it. But now that we've got through that feature, I'll take it off here and we'll talk a bit more about the sling in general. Again, I have mine on here with QDs, but something to cover right off the bat again is the sling doesn't come with any attachment points or clips or anything like that on its own. Basically all you get is this right here minus the QDs. That's really all you need, I suppose. That's not too uncommon. It'll accept these QD swivels or clash hooks or anything else. You just kind of loop it around through here on the little nylon strap. And again, big props to T.Rex Arms on definitely check out their website for this thing. They make it super easy to have different instructions and video tutorials for how to set this up for different things. 1 point, 2 point, rethreading it for the reverse throw, which is something that I use. And then also threading on any of your attachments. It's, it doesn't come with all that stuff, but it's pretty easy to set it up how you want. If you have any questions or struggle with it a little bit, their websites have really good videos for setting that up. But more onto the sling. Overall, it is pretty minimalist. It's basically just a nylon strap that goes up and down. There's a nice padded section here in the middle for some extra width. That is the piece that goes around your neck and over your shoulders there, so it's a little more comfortable. The padding's not super thick, but it's pretty much good enough if you ask me, and it's more so the width here than anything else, I think, that makes it more comfortable. Then you work your way to the other side of the sling. It's just got another nylon tri-glide. All the components on here are nylon from T.Rex Arms. There's no metal buckles or sliders like that, just nylon and nylon more or less. They have a handful of different colors. I picked multicam black, of course, because I like to LARP in my basement. And overall, it is a good looking product and really has served its purpose as a sling pretty well. And that leads me into my first major topic that I usually like to talk about in these types of reviews, which is overall performance, which is basically how good is it at being what it is. In this case, how good is it at being a rifle sling? And I would like to say it's very good at it. Honestly, it holds the rifle to you. It doesn't really get in the way, and That's about it. It's very adjustable, pretty easy to cut to your own length. It will come extra long with this piece here, so you can basically thread it around yourself and size it to fit if you want it a little tighter, a little looser if you're a bigger, smaller person. So basically the ultimate in customization to make sure it'll fit you at that point. No issues there, and that's pretty easy to cut and just burn the edges. And it works pretty well for a rifle sling. I had one before that was a lot bulkier with lots of different tags and straps and other little pouches on it. And it really got in the way, and you're always having stuff bumping into you with stuff hanging off the sling, or it catches on things like that. And this thing is pretty minimal, and I actually really like it for that. It does exactly what it needs to do and nothing more. Maybe if you want something with some pouches or something on it, this really isn't for you. But for a lightweight and compact sling that's pretty minimalist and with nothing in the way, this doesn't really get any better than this if you ask me. Accepts all the major attachments from QDs to clash hooks, and it works pretty well. I mean, you can't really complain about it at all. Initially, I thought maybe this little bit of padding here, it's not super thick and even really that cushy. I thought it maybe be more uncomfortable after long periods of time, but it's just enough width and just enough extra little cushion here on the padding to make it pretty comfortable. You don't hardly notice that it's on. All the fasteners have held up really well. It's, they work, nothing's slipping and sliding and coming loose on you when you don't want, which is a pretty big thing in my book. Make sure that the sling stays at whatever adjustment level you want. So top marks there. Craftsmanship, of course, is top notch from T.Rex Arms, very well made. And the basically only moving part on the sling is the little adjustment strap that you can see here. It typically comes in the standard throw, so that when it's all the way out, you pull the sling, the reverse of how I have it set up here. So this would be all the way closed, and you pull it back, and it actually loosens the sling. I have mine woven for the reverse throw, so it's real tight to me like this. And then I pull this out, and that's how it loosens it, and you get that extra width. I find that to be a bit more natural for me. When I have the sling on and it's real close to me, I can hook this, bring my hand forward, and then it's up by the hand guard ready to go when I'm bringing the gun up, and then it's just pretty easy to pull back kind of like that when you're done. So this gives me all the width in the world right here on my very clear rifle. Of course, when stowed, you pull it real tight, so it's kind of something like this. Then if you're going to bring the gun up, I just grab it off the bottom here, and then your hand's already up front. That's the reverse throw. A lot of people like it standard, but the reverse works for me, and I like it, so it's pretty quick and easy to adjust it to the setup that you like. Again, really great instructional videos from T.Rex Arms for how to do that. So overall, in terms of performance, it's a super solid sling. Can't really complain about it in any ways. I do like that it is a bit more minimalist. There's not all kinds of stuff clanging and hanging off of this thing to get snagged on or weigh you down or get in the way. It's pretty light, it's pretty thin, compacts really well, but does everything you need it to do and not much else. So can't complain about it there. Solid performing product. The other thing I like to talk about, and I sort of touched on this a little bit before with regards to the craftsmanship, is overall durability. So how well does it hold up after years of use, running around, things like that, any major damage or wear and tear on it. And as with most things from T.Rex Arms, it does pretty well in this category too. I've never actually owned anything from them that does fall apart, and this sling is no exception. All the stitching is very well done. It's very well put together. Everything's still in very good shape here. I don't think I have any types of fraying or anything like that. That's just dog hair on it. So it's in pretty good shape. All of these sliding bits here haven't worn anything down on the nylon. None of the fasteners are faded or cracked or otherwise damaged, and I just kind of throw it on the rifle and throw the rifle around, right? So it's not like I would put this thing through anything that a normal civilian like myself would. Again, I'm not in a duty environment, so I can't really comment on that use. But for all things civilian, shooting sports, day at the range, everything like that, you shouldn't have any durability problems with this thing. It'll last forever unless you just cut it in half with scissors. The only opportunity I could see for any kind of fraying would be if you didn't burn the cut edge really well. That would just kind of fray out the nylon thread. That's going to happen anyways, but you just hold a lighter to it for a couple seconds, it melts it, and you're good. Not really too many wear points on here. The biggest one would be on this strap on your shoulder if it's like around you, sliding around like that a whole lot. But again, it's in very good shape. As you can see on here, there's pretty much nothing wrong with the finish on it. Maybe some dirt on it or whatever from just laying it on the ground, but unless you physically cut this thing with a blade, I doubt it's going to have any durability issues. It should hold up for a very long time. So top marks for me on both the performance and durability of this product. That shouldn't be a big surprise from T.Rex Arms. They usually are pretty well thought out and what they want their products to do, what they want to be, and of course they make them very well here in the US, so shouldn't have any concerns about buying it. But overall, I'm a pretty big fan, and I've been glad to have it on my rifle for the past 2 years. For $60, you can get one at trexarms.com. Again, we're not sponsored or anything, but I would recommend this product. It's everything you need in a lightweight minimalist rifle sling and nothing you don't. Well, that looks like it's going to be it for the video this week, guys, for my full review on this nylon rifle sling from T.Rex Arms. Overall, it's a pretty solid product, and I would recommend it. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like down below. And if you have any questions about this sling, anything you've seen here on the rifle, or anything else, leave them down below in the comments. We always love hearing from you guys. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, where every day is range day. Thanks for watching.
I heard two. I was like, damn, the speed.
You know how good I am.